All right, everyone, welcome back to the channel. On today's video, I want to talk about your weight shift and more specifically, your follow through. It's the one thing that I see the majority of golfers not doing here at our practice facility or on my lesson tee. So let's get right into the video. More often than not, I'm seeing a lot of you out there that are slicers of the ball, that tend to hit behind the ball, thin the ball. They'll make their golf swing and some segment of their body, if you will, is kind of behind this white stick here, this white alignment rod, whether it's their head, whether it's their upper spine, where they're kind of in excessive extension, right? Whether it's their pelvis is kind of back or their tush is back, whether there's their knees behind that. And what I see in good players, what I see in expert or elite ball strikers is I see every segment of their body kind of on this side of that white line, right? I almost lost my balance is how far and how fast I'm kind of going this way. So most of you out there aren't going forward enough for long enough. So what does that mean? That means as you're coming down, you may start to go forward and then some part of your body, your golfer's subconscious, your inner athlete kind of stalls it out, slows everything down, starts going this way, right? And kind of falls back behind it. As you're doing that, as you stop moving forward and everything kind of stalls, the weight's no longer moving towards the target, what ends up happening is there's a three-dimensional move that's going to happen to this club head, right? And I can show it a little better from down the line here. So if I go to the top of my backswing, if I start coming down and moving forward, the minute I don't move forward anymore, it's going to have three effects on this club. It's going to be the club head itself is going to move out, down, and across the ball, no matter where that club's coming from. What does that mean? That means if I'm already outside of the ball, well, then I'm just in a heap of trouble because it's going to go even more out, more down, more across. But if I'm inside the ball, once I back up, it's going out, down, and across. Hopefully, I'm lucky enough or good enough where the club head never gets outside of the ball because, as you know, that would be disastrous. So to me, it's anything we can do. We can start at home, of course, to get our weight forward. So here's some key points that I would look for, and then I'll go through the ways that I see it and the fixes for that. So at address, I think if we all just set up, maybe the camera's a mirror, club or no club, from here, train yourself to go forward. Get your face over your chest, over your pelvis, with very little weight or crinkles on your trail foot, right? That's what I'd be looking for. I don't want to see any of this. This is something I would also do barefoot. This way you really can feel how much little pressure is in the big toe. So that would be a great exercise. And I would do that without a club, then I would do it with a club. Boom. Learn to get forward. Almost overdoing it, really going that way. That would be the sensation I'd be looking for. If I'm a golfer who hit the ball and would feel like their chest was back, but their pelvis was in front, I might do that same exercise, but I might take a golf shaft or an alignment rod. And as I went forward, I'd work on trying to feel like my shoulders were much more level, right? Boom, right? I'm overdoing that. Almost like a Darren Clark or a Lee Westwood type of follow through. Boom, much more level shoulders. Even a Tiger Woods in his older age, since he's got the fused spine now. Boom, and I'm feeling really level. Well, time will tell. But boy, is that different than all this tilting with all this spinal extension. If I'm a golfer who is leaving their lower body behind and feels like their face is forward, boy, am I going to work on a lot of things to start to get my belly button, my lower part of my spine to start pushing forward and to extend. So I can set up at address here, do this a couple different ways, and really start feeling like the belly button and the butt of the club are kind of tied together. And I kind of push them forward together. The only way the butt of the club can move is if my pelvis kind of pushes itself forward. Boy, is that a different feel for those of you that are lacking lateral or linear movement in the downswing, right? You can kind of start pushing yourself from there, boom, and then start to raise it up to the sky. That will really start to get your pelvis going that way. For those of you that are out there kind of swinging at it and kind of staying like this with your head down, I'd say a couple things about that. One is you're going to hurt your back at some point. If you do enough reps of this, you're going to hurt your back. You may even hurt your neck or your shoulder. It's really imperative that maybe you tee up a ball, right? Tee up a ball here and then start to chip some, even if they're half swings, halfway back, half through. Really feeling like this shoulder kind of collects the chin, the eyes start to follow the ball much sooner, right? You might be able to see this more from face on. So as I come down, boom, I'm hitting it. The sensation is that this shoulder, the trail shoulder, is going to collect the chin. The eyes are immediately following the golf ball. boom, and that's going to start driving my body forward and my weight forward. So other exercises you can do, or other pitfalls I should say first, I see players kind of shoot back and their knee kind of shoots out like this, right? You'll see that all the time. So for that player, we can get we can get them to fix their trail leg by setting up and getting an alignment rod. And it's kind of tricky where you got to kind of set it up. You could do a couple things here. Yeah, I think we're going to go this way with it. Oops, excuse me. So we're going to get the alignment rod in. We can set up to a golf ball. And at first we might keep it a few inches away from where my knee is. So if I was going to hit this golf ball, at first I might just make some backswings and then some downswings looking at it, right? And trying to work my trail leg in a banking fashion. So I feel like it's really working in on that banking fashion. So if it were here, excuse me, just get it correct. Good. So if it were here, I'll just move this out of the way. Perfect. That's better. Good. So if we get it kind of where it's supposed to be, I'd start feeling like there's about a fist space between the alignment rod and my knee. And then as I set up, I would just try to start seeing, okay, I can work inside of that. At no point am I shooting out towards it, right? So those are all different ways. It's probably better viewed from down the line. So again, I get my kneecap, my shin, a little less than a fist or a little more than a fist, somewhere right in there. I wouldn't get right up against it. I think that's kind of mission impossible, especially this alignment rod. It looks like it's banked in. And I just start to chip on, feeling like my trail leg's lengthening and banking in. Lengthening and banking in. That's really the answer for that player that's kind of shooting his or her knee out. So you're really looking for a golf swing where we load up the pivot but stay somewhat centered. Boom, we hit the ball with the majority of weight on our lead side. We continue to push forward and rotate. And we're really almost feeling like the knees are almost touching or kissing. Boom, in the follow through, like they're getting really close together. We're not going to live in this world where there's an excessive amount of space. So next time you're playing and you feel like maybe you're hitting it fat, or next time at your practice facility and you're hitting a few behind the ball, why don't you just set up an address from here, go forward, and then really try to make a golf swing all the way back, all the way through, kind of getting there and holding that follow through to the ball land. So again, this video was mostly on your forward pivot and weight shift. I hope it helps you the next time you're in your golf course or practice facility. Please comment below on whether or not this video helped you. Subscribe to our channel, and please like this video as well.